Ecologists recognize that both biotic and abiotic conditions play an important role in regulating population size in natural environments. So we have things like density-independent factors. These are going to be factors where the population density does not influence the intensity of the factor's effect. So a great example of this would be things like natural disasters. Natural disasters do not pick and choose. Just because one area is more densely populated than another, tornadoes aren't going to necessarily target a city versus the country. They're independent of the density of the population. But there are also density-dependent factors. This is where the percentage of the population affected increases as the population density increases. So the more people that we have in that area, the worse those density-dependent factors influence that particular population. So things like competition. The more individuals in a given area, the harder it is going to be to find food. Also, the more given individuals in an area, the more severe predation is going to be. If we have 5 field mice in a great big giant field, they're not going to attract that many hawks. But a very, very large mouse population is going to attract significantly more predators. Parasitism also is going to be much more of an issue in dense populations. Things like bacterial infections and disease. COVID is a way worse problem in densely populated cities and densely populated towns than it is in more rural areas. Cases aren't happening all that often in rural areas, and it's not spreading as quickly in rural areas as it does in major cities. So here's things like density-independent effects. Whether there's a lot of mice in a given area or hardly any mice in a given area, roughly half the population is going to be affected by a natural disaster like flooding. However, in a density-dependent factor, we're going to see significantly more mice are going to be affected. So density-dependent effect, we're going to see the number of reindeer. As soon as we suddenly see a resource depletion, the more and more reindeer in a given area, we're going to suddenly see a density-dependent effect. We're going to see a drop in natural resources and then a severe, severe drop in the population. Another thing, like I said, 2 mice in a field aren't really going to attract that many hawks. A high density of mice is going to attract a disproportionate number of predators that could potentially wipe out the population in a very short amount of time.